Welcome to the Dr. Maya podcast, where we challenge the norms of healthcare, empower people to take control of their health, and redefine the future of medicine.
Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. What have we done with it?
My name is Srivatsa. I'm a doctor, author, and creator of Dr. Maya to introduce patient-centered care, which will revolutionize healthcare. Today I'm going to talk about our body, cells, and inflammation. So you have to look at yourself. What are we made up of? We are actually made up of 80% of water, 70 to 80%. In that, 30% are cells. But here, when you look at it, each organ has different amount of percentage of water. Yes, some of them are higher, some of them are lower. So it depends upon the cells. So most of the cells in our body, organs in our body, are made up of water, majority of them. So 70% water and 30% cells. So what are these 30% cells? They are actually, as I said, bacteria. Why? When you look at it, this is how our body is, and here are all the cells floating around. And they are basically eukaryotes, which has mitochondria in them. And we are surrounded by plants and animals. So we are not alone in this earth. If people think we are here, we are having a good time, no. Just look at the way things are mapped out. When you look at it, there are traces taken by plants. And then we have oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide all around. There are also atoms spreading around. And then we have these bacteria and viruses spreading around, which you cannot see, but they all exist all around. So we are filled with, the whole universe has got lots of things in it. It's not only one. We're not, organized. We're not standing in a row. I mean, here I can see you are, but majority of the time we are not. We are not in one box. We are not set aside so that nobody is going to come and attack us. We are in the middle of a huge jungle with lots of organisms, lots of animals, lots of plants. There are plenty. We think we are the most important species on earth, but we are not. We are part of it. And bacteria, as I told you already, single cell organism, they attack other cells, because they can float around, they can move, and they can do all the things necessary. Prokaryotes, with or without fillet. So they have a little bit of fillet, is a little extension. Some of them have it, some of them don't. So they use this fillet to communicate to the bacteria, to the other ones. They go and meet, exchange in fluids, and this thing almost like, sexual kind of a thing, but it doesn't work that way. So they cannot penetrate membrane, but usually remains in the blood. And that is what we call it as septicemia, when they enter your blood. They communicate, as I said, bacteria talk to one another. They also have enemies. Oh yeah, this bacteria is bad, that bacteria is bad, this virus is bad. So they fight amongst themselves. And when they die, they pick up all the leftovers. If a bacteria dies, every part of that bacteria is taken by another one. So Tom can die and the elephant comes, crushes it, breaks the bone and eats it. It's like that. Different species are doing it. It's not be the same species. So that's the reason the superbugs are spreading. Bonnie Bessler, she has taken up this bacteria. I said about 10 years ago, bacteria must be communicated to one another with some kind of a chemical. Now she's taken it up. I don't know how she got the idea, but anyway, she's taken it up, and she's thinking that she's going to come out with new antibiotics, because 1.5 billion pounds will be given to them. So they want to get the money really. And they're thinking they can use these chemicals, identify them, and make the bacteria behave as we want them to, which is not possible, because the bacteria are much stronger, they're more intelligent, and they have lived here for 5 billion years. So this is a virus. Virus, as I said, are particles. These are the viruses. They have to get into another cell, because they don't have life on own. They don't need any food or water or oxygen or anything. They are also present in the desert. They're present deep in the sea. They're present all over in the volcanoes. They can't be killed by heat. So they spread all over in seconds. And this is the virus I told you about, the capsule, and it's just a gene, and it just gets in. This is bacteriophages, which is attacking the cell of a bacteria. So they kill one another. And this is fungus, the recent one. Do you know where this fungus picture is from? This one, any idea? Athlete's foot. So if somebody has athlete's foot, you describing, this is what you see. So they are present on our body. When do we develop immunity towards fungus? As soon as we are born, we become immune to it. So only your immunity goes backwards when the immune deficiency, like you develop HIV, or if you have any immunodeficiency disorders, then you're prone to get fungus infection. They rarely infect our majority of us. But now things are changing. There's a new breed which is spreading on like wildfire. So here you can see the difference. These are all the bacteria. They're all well shaped. Based on the shape, it's called cocci. And if it is round, it's, different shapes. But these are more beautiful actually. When you look at under the microscope, the viruses, they are like spectacular, beautiful. You just fall in love with them. So what the hell, how did this virus make itself look so attractive? They're colorful, and they don't need anything to live. This is the bacteriophage, which they're thinking they can. And Ebola, this is the latest one which came up, which everybody knows. So I say knowledge of health is knowledge of life. That's what I learned. I wouldn't have learned about the ecology, I wouldn't have learned about the evolution if I hadn't understood what health is all about. So I'm sharing it with you so that you understand. So this is basically, I'm going to talk about the structure of each cell. So we are made up of bits. So when I crack open, this is what happens. You have small pieces which you can see. Continuously, if I go on beating you up, then it comes a stage where I can, this is all it is. This is an atom. There are billions and billions of atoms in every cell. Atoms, what are atoms? There are neutrons in the center. So if you say O2 is an atom, oxygen 2. That means you say it has got 2 protons in it. This is the neutron with 2 protons. And then electrons are moving around. So that's what happens. This is constant. It is always moving around. The space between 2 atoms is the universe. So they are all like that. And what do? When they move about, they produce energy. What is energy? People tell you all sorts of things. Oh, I got positive energy. I am positive. I am a spiritualist. I believe in energy. But nobody knows what energy is. I ask the simple question. What is energy? Energy is nothing but heat. Heat is the energy. ATP splits into ADP, produces heat. So every activity in a human, animal, plant needs energy. To grow, you need energy. To walk around, you need energy. I move my finger now like this, suddenly I need energy. Where does it come from? It comes from ATP, adenosine triphosphate, splits one molecule of phosphate and it becomes ADP, and that split itself produces energy. And that is what is happening. How do we know you can live on energy? Just about a few years ago, they found this worm called Olivius residing in the deepest part of the ocean. It has lived there for billions of years. And it does not have any mouth. It doesn't eat anything. It doesn't have anything to get rid of its excreta. But it lives, it multiplies, and it is alive. How can it be? When they dissected it out and they found out it has 2 layers of skin. In between these 2 layers is a layer of bacteria. The bacteria uses methane and all these toxic gases and enjoys itself with it. It's learned to live with these toxins. But it produces waste, and the waste gets inside the body, and that is used by the worm to produce energy. What a symbiotic relationship. They know both bacteria and the worm are living happily together. There's no war amongst themselves. So nobody is superior, nobody is. I depend upon you, you depend on me. It's not a parasitic relationship. And that made us think the other way. As I said, this one is a proton. This is an atom again. When it moves, it not only produces heat, it also emits light, and this is called photons. produces red, green, yellow, and blue. So it's purple. So high energy people, like whoever is excited like me right now, I am giving more purple light. Why? Because I'm on a high positive wavelength. Whereas a person who's depressed usually sends red kind of color thing. That's why I always say if somebody is wearing red colored shirt and dress, always be careful because they're not looking attractive because they want to look attractive or sexy. It's only because they want somebody to make them feel happy. They're red, oh, she looks gorgeous, no problem, let's go and chat to her. Yeah, she is negative. So a positive man, no problem, I am the great hero kind of a thing. And she perks up, oh, everybody's giving me attention. That's exactly what it is, these photons. When you take pictures of people using the special technique, you can get it. I didn't put that thing there. So, the gist of this is, before you give anybody any chemical, you must always think 100 times. Even a vitamin pill, if you give, it can go and corrupt one of the atoms with bad things. They say vitamin is good for you. How do you know that? Why do you need so much iron? You're popping up iron, it's almost coming in the poo, it's black all the time. Why is that? You don't need that much iron. You need only this much. But the company wants to sell you so much to make more money. So they will try to promote it. I mean, wherever you go, road, Vita biotic, this biotic, that. I have never come across any biotic which does anything to anybody. But people are billions of dollars. It's all money oriented. And that's what happens. This is what I said is the virus which has got into the cell. It's called mitochondria, which produces, it's called the powerhouse cell because it produces 32 molecules. The interesting thing about this is never transferred from father to the child. It's always the mother. Why? Because the sperm unites with the ova inside the womb. When the egg is formed, the virus from the mother jumps in. And that's why it's said to be a virus. So, there's only maternal mitochondria. Plants have them, animals have them, and even fungus have them. But viruses doesn't have any of these. So, it's a very important structure which gives us a clue how things are. And now the second type of viruses come in. It's called plasmid. Plasmid is a circular DNA which has got into some of these bacteria, and that has got the knowledge of managing chemicals. So if you put them antibiotic or any chemical, that can break it into atoms. It just quickly dissolves it off. So any organism with this plasmid, with the technical knowledge, they transfer it from one bacteria to the other. They go, oh, no problem, have mine. So they're sharing here. And this is the pillay, which I told you about, these ones. And the pillay they use to transfer the technical know-how. So they all. So coming to inflammation, because the next important thing you have to know is you understood the structure, you understood how the evolutions occur. Now I need you to understand what inflammation is.